Knowledge management is about people. People in organizations are key to knowledge sharing, to knowledge generation, to knowledge management.
Knowledge management is the way you facilitate better work in the organization.
Information in use, information for change.
But here it's all those
What we want to show you and expose you to is all kind of tools and methods. That means that you have to manage two kind of things. That is the capacity to act, and you have to manage the information in use.
Well, basically we review some of the concepts related with knowledge management, and we were able to formulate better what a knowledge manager really is.
Key staff, etc. They must be aware of what the mission of the business
At a session in which we worked on posters outlining the vision and mission of our organizations, outputs and key processes, and then indicate in the key processes the areas that require knowledge interventions. The interaction with among the participants, of course, working together in pairs, that was also quite good, in the sense that it also facilitated knowledge sharing.
Me, I'm at the management level. I'm not a technical communications person. So what I like that I appreciated the value and also how it can actually be used to strengthen an organization.
On a sector scale, it's about cooperation.
Levels of knowledge management, personal, organizational, and networking.
This afternoon we're joined by Justin Chisenga on the ACP channel.
Sure, I thank you very much for having me on your program. One thing that we agreed on was that the knowledge management officers should practice what they preach.
So basically, what were you expecting to get out of it?
Expect out of this
Yes.
problems, suggestions, and people are lost. And that's okay, because this is a training workshop and we can make mistakes. Make obvious why the branches
This afternoon was very interesting in terms of thinking through about the knowledge management tree and understanding how we can apply the roots, the trunk, and the fruits of the knowledge management tree within our organizations.
What I liked about that exercise is that it's triggered the thinking in me, be able to relate the KM activities that we do on a day-to-day basis and how those specifically relate and support the objectives of the organization. attempted to start looking at different cases where and questions within 3 groups, where one group was focusing on M&E and its alignment to knowledge management, and another group was looking at policy activities, and another group was looking at the CTA KM tree. As we were doing that, certain issues rose up on how the process of this workshop is going.
I think we had a chaotic situation this morning. The participants got to the point where they were pushing back because they really wanted to get clarity on, why are we here and why are we doing this course.
This morning's session, I really liked that people were more open than yesterday.
What I liked was that I did have the opportunity to say what I thought, and actually got to the point where I felt, well, okay, now I can make a more concrete contribution.
So after that process, we had a meeting and a consensus that we restructure some of the process of how this workshop should go.
We ended up having presentations again of the models of knowledge management, starting from the Benjamin model and its history, and looking at how it can be applied, and also an overview of the knowledge tree as well. So it actually made things a little bit much more clearer, especially for most of the people that are not of the KM background.
Exercise that we did. This is where we defined the target audience for our planning for a knowledge intervention. And then after identifying the target audience, we also looked at what is the environment in which they are operating. So we reviewed the work of the 3 groups, and then after that we went now into pitching, and we divided ourselves into 2 groups. One group looked at senior management, and the other group was looking more at a program officer. The groups worked on their pitches, and then we had a session at which the pitches were presented.
Good exercise, because I learned a bit about how you do a pitch to a senior manager. Learned that there's usually very little time to do this, and you have to bring out the key issues.
What I really found interesting is, we're challenging really in our own organization. At the moment, so many people are leaving. Mm-hmm. And I think I saw a few cases in this meeting, one from Fiji, another one was from Kenya, where I feel we can really learn something, because what they have been doing, they have been systematically trying to capture knowledge which these people have.
Sounds very interesting. There is a meeting in 2 weeks' time where we've got some of the directors and program managers. So maybe if I can give you an hour slot, then you want to, but come up with good examples and make it more practical for our organization. I have to go now. Thank you.
I liked that I got to know about new concepts of knowledge management, the knowledge management tree, how to pitch for yourself in your organization.
The highlight for these 3 days for me would be the interaction that has gone on with among the participants.
For me, the most important thing is that the knowledge management models become much more clearer for me, and I could now be able to start thinking practically how I could apply them in my own organization.
I think we have been able to get, through the support of CTA, a good 2-day course now that our managers can lead and follow, so they can improve their expertise about the use of KM in development projects.